Classic Rock Corner. Stay tuned for the guitar tutorial on Boston's More Than a Feeling. The solo of Boston's More Than a Feeling. We shall be right back.
Play like a pro at String Sound Studios.
Good day. Violette. And in this live stream, we are going to concentrate on 5 different concepts which will enable you to play the solo, More Than a Feeling by Tommy Schultz. Again, Mike Violette, Strength Sound Studios, coming at you. Hope you can hear everything okay. Worked on the audio all day, and to say I have a little bit of an issue, but hopefully we got that solved. We are streaming to you from YouTube, Facebook, Periscope, Twitch, Daily Motion, VK, a whole bunch of others. I decided to go for everything tonight. So this is a multi-stream, and we're streaming to you from that. But especially subscribe to our YouTube. Hit that bell for notifications so you know when we're doing this. A lot of valuable information out there. And, join us there, or email me, and definitely take a look at Vimeo. We put all our videos up there. It's really good quality, and it's another good platform. So here we go. So anyone hear me out there? Is anyone out there in guitar land? Give me a high five or a wow, or it sounds good, or let me know what you think. And don't be afraid, if you're watching, to chat and join in. So we are doing the solo for More Than a Feeling, Tommy Schultz solo, and we got about 5 different concepts. And we're going to start off with talking about vibrato and slurs, hammers, pull-off slides. There's all of those things in there. Of course, with other things, 16th note triplets, bends, and a little bit about the effects. I want to talk to you guys about the effects later. I don't have a Rockland sustainer. So let's get going with the tune. Now, we did the solo. Look back on the live stream, and I did the solo a few weeks back. Again, it's good to be back doing this. Now, we're going to take a look at the first part of the solo. I'm going right to the solo. That's what the backing track was over. Okay? And we're going to start right here on this C sharp. And I'm going to zoom in so you can see exactly what I'm doing. So let's do that. Okay? So you might not see all of me, but you want to see the guitar. Okay, here we go. Hey, who's that? It is Rox, my wife. Hey, someone watches. Hi, Rox. All right, looks good, sounds good, hope so. All right, here we go. Now, we're going to start out, it starts out on 6th position. We're going to change positions in this quite a bit. And the general range of this is from about 5th position all the way up to 14th. Then when he goes back, he does the chords down here. We don't need to see that right now. I could zoom out later, okay? And you can see that. I want to make sure you can see all this. So we're going to start right out on this C sharp here on the 6th fret, and we're going to move to 7th. So your intro is this. Now let's just hold that right there. Watch what I do here. There's your vibrato. That's a dotted 8th note. I mean, a dotted quarter note, 2 and 8th note. Hits it again. Now I talked about doing, hammers, pull-offs. But the other thing we have to do all of this at once. There's a lot of stuff all at once. And one of the things we have here, okay, is we have a 16th note triplet, an 8th note, followed by a 16th note triplet, okay? So the way to practice that, I think a good way to practice that is like this. Watch. Now, I didn't exactly do the 16th note triplet. I'll take it right from there. What I did is I played this 8th note here, and instead of playing the hammer and pull off, I got the first note and I kept it in time. So if you did that, it would sound like this. That's a good place to target. So again, I went. Then you're going to put in the 16th note. So you have this. So let's take a listen to that again. So I start from here, right? I have this. You see that? So remember to practice this. Why do I want you to do that? This way you get that in time better, right? If people, you know, with my students, sometimes when they're playing things like this, they start rushing things and they go. You want to feel where that 8th note is. So you have on that 16th, that 8th note followed by the 16th note triplet, you want to feel where that half beat is. This way you can get that 16th note triplet. So first it's an 8th note followed by 16th note triplet. Tommy Schultz has a lot of that ornamentation in here. It's almost like Baroque kind of concept he's going. But he has the 16th note 8th and the 8th 16th. If you don't know exactly what I'm talking about, do a lot of listening and you'll learn, okay? So again, this first one, you want to do this. Now there's a lot just in that first phrase there, okay? To me, that's kind of the first phrase. What do we do? We're starting here at 6th position, right? And then we're starting here at 6th position. We're moving right to 7th on the 3rd string, mid 7th. Now you might be saying, well, why don't you try to play that whole thing in one position? It really has to do with what I never really watched them. I listened to. I never really watch them talking. Who's that good? Wow, great. Hey, thanks. Whoever you are, Chris. Oh, was it Cindy? I can't see the chat box. I got to keep it smaller, but I say, wow, great. But is that Cindy Wilms? Hey, Cindy, if that's you. Now, we have this going on here. Okay? Make the chat box bigger. So we're starting out here. And notice I go from 6th to 7th, and I go back to 5th. And my choice of doing that has to do with how I think he's playing, what I hear, and of course, the easiest way, I'm trying to give you the easiest way possible, the best position moves when you do this, because that's important. What strings is he playing? As we know on the guitar, we have a whole bunch of different notes on the same string. I can play C sharp here, I can play C sharp here, I can play C sharp here, and that's what you have to listen for. You have to listen to the guitar tone. Of course, I'm not going to get Tommy's guitar tone. I don't have the Rockman sustain or 2, but even if I did, I still wouldn't sound exactly like him, and he's got a whole bunch of other things. But we'll try. It's more about the notes, and you can experiment with your own pedals and things. All right, so again, I do that, and I end up here in my bend, and one of the other reasons is I want my bend to be here. All right, I don't want to do something where I have to try to bend this with my second finger. When you bend, I can bend with my second finger, but something like this, we have a whole step bend. So now we're into the bends, right? I want to get all these other fingers behind that. So that's another concept, all right? Why? It's get all these other fingers behind this one and help them push. See that? And when you do bends, I always talk about playing like this. When you do bends, you almost have to play, well, you do. You have to play off the side of the string almost. So you're like this. You're not straight on like that, or else you'll slip right off the string. And angle your hand a little bit. Yeah, you want to go back and forth like this depending on what you're playing. When you do a bend, depending on what strings you have too, you might have to bend up even more what you're bending to. Okay? you want to get your hand a little bit angled. I don't generally do this. However, my thumb does come up a little bit more. See that? So there's a lot of reasons why you want to do that. So you're bending off, kind of like pushing the side of the string up as you mash it into the fretboard. So I end up in 5th position there. All right, let's take a look at that. I'm going to take it from the bend, and then we'll connect those couple of phrases. Okay, so that would be a good practice point to go to there. So if I had this, and I slide back, watch. Now we have this triplet figure right off the downbeat, okay, on 4, right? So you might want to practice this, right? Rather than put the 16th note triplet in. Listen to this. Start right on this G. Let's say you did the bend. All right, well, we'll start on the D. So you go. Then you move to 7. So again, we're not playing the 16th note triplet yet. I'm going to take it from this right here. And once you get that going, you have this sound. But again, you're feeling the rhythm better there. You're feeling that 8th note. And that 8th note ends up being here on the last beat of 4, on the end of 4. Then you move. So if I take it from the bend, I have this. This bend's a whole step bend too. So that's kind of my second practice point. And let's say my second phrase. So I just taught you 2 different phrases. All right, and we'll take it from the second one once again. All right, so let's back it up. We're going to start from the first one. 3, 4, 1. Let's do that again. And that's where I'm at now. So again, one more time, follow along, slow it down. Even more so, if you're on YouTube, you can slow it down, but I'm doing it slow here. And with the backing track, I actually play it slower than he does it. He's probably about, if you're familiar with, metronome, some of these terms I'm talking about, he's probably about like 116. I slowed it down, maybe even a little quicker, maybe like 120. I slowed it down a bit. Not that I can't play it there. I just, for the purpose of teaching and instruction, you want to hear it go by a little bit slower. Okay, ready? 3, 4, 1. And again, I play here with my thumb so you can see everything. You're not looking, of course, you can't see all the way down here. So hopefully you zoning in here and you can see everything. All right, let's go to the next phrase. So what did I do? I'm going to take it from the last part of the phrase into the new part. Now again, we have a 16th note triplet. Watch. Okay, so watch, I move like this. I played it different the first time. I played it a little bit different than I normally do. As far as positions, it was the correct notes. But what we want to do slowly is we want to move like this. All right, so you have this. Again. So watch. right, come from fifth, my third phrase, right? There's my D there. Again, I have an eighth note followed to the by the 16th note triplet. Now you can do this. Don't add the triplet yet. Listen. I would definitely add that bend. But those triplets, playing time can be a little bit tricky. So you got this. Bend that. When you go to that bend, it's a quick, right? E up to an F sharp. You're playing this on the ninth fret. I have something in the score here. I do have the music. I don't hear him doing that. I just hear him going right to the C sharp. The other thing too, if you do look at the music here, they still have them in the key of G. That's not correct. I mean, you could have the key signature G, but there's a lot of C sharps in here. So they don't have them on the score, and that's why it's important to really use your ears too. And of course, read music, and you can see the discrepancies, like I did. All right, so again, we're going to take the third phrase here, okay? Hi everyone. Hey Kelly. All right. So, hey, we got some people watching tonight. Who else is watching? Come on, I want to hear from you. All right, so let's take that third phrase again. And there, I added the triplet. Practice it slow like that, then you start getting it a little bit quicker, right? So remember, a lot of these 16th note triplets are hammers and pull-ups. And let's stop right there because there's a lot going on in this solo. Is it super hard solo? No, it's definitely a really good intermediate solo to learn. Well, let's talk a minute about hammers and pull-ups, okay? You know, assuming that you don't, some of you know how to do them and some of you don't. But let's go back and talk a little bit about hammers and pull-ups because I want to elaborate on that. Now, you hit the slide, right? We're going to do here, this is going to be, you're going to play the F sharp. We'll start from this G, play the G, the second half of the eighth note. Where the 16th note triplet comes, that ornament, he's going to do a hammer pull-off. So you've got, what's a hammer? Well, a hammer is playing a note by use of your fretting hand only. So I'm going to pick it, right? Now I'm going to pick this note. See that? So I hammer it, and then I pull it off. So I'm only playing these notes, but you're going to mash this in the fretboard and then pull it off. In a pull-off, a hammer is playing from a lower note to a higher note on the same string, okay? And it could be any finger. It just so happens it's being 1, 2 here because that's what the notes dictate in this situation. So we have this. See that? Hammer mashing into the fretboard just like a hammer. Okay? You have to remember, if you're going to hammer a nail, let's say you're going to hammer a nail in, okay? You have to come up a little bit, not really high. It might be okay when you're first starting to do these. You probably have to little, and then as you get better and your fingers get more powerful, keep it a little bit lower. Now, here's the big thing on the pull-off, all right? A couple things, I talk about things like this all the time. At what spot do you want to do that on your finger? This is important when you do a hammer and pull-off, or especially a pull-off. I want to play, watch, I'm going to do this famous thing again. If you go back to some of the older videos, I'm always talking about stuff like this. All right, you see the fingertip there? Now, there's various places to play on your fingertip. However, when I do a pull-off, I want to get it closer, okay, to this part here. All right, I don't want it back here. I want it here. Why? Because I don't want to grab that string if I'm playing too far back. I'm playing too far back. Let's go here on my finger. I'm going to really bend that string, and I can't roll off of it. So when you're doing a pull-off, you just got to cut or roll off it. And what I do, I don't do that. I don't come way off the string. I snap it and almost rest on the next string. So I'm going this way. I'm going in a downward motion towards the ground rather than out. See that? So I don't have a big move, and I'm not getting way out here. And of course, I don't throw the note out of tune. It's harder to pull off if you're using more meat on your finger, and then you start bending the string. If I do it slow, you don't see the string bending, do you? Again, so that's important. Hammer, and notice the arch in my finger, okay? It's arch. I'm not like this and hitting like that, and sometimes you do have to do that. However, you want to really make sure that these things, all these little details are important to enable you to play, not just this, anything, right? All right, I'm going to take the first three phrases and put them all in that context there, okay? Here we go. 3, 4, 1. Value note there. So that's kind of like 3 good practice points put together to make one. Let's do that again. 3, 4, 1. I think I play that a little bit different position-wise, but that's okay. The thing too is you might want to experiment with different positions. But what happens is when you're doing a solo, you might say, okay, I can do the solo. Then, of course, you practice anything slow. This is another important point. You practice things slowly, and then as they start speeding up, you're like, darn, I can't do it. I can't do it at that tempo. So it's good to practice things differently. And I guess that's what I did when I did this solo. That's why I'm playing in different positions. I'm trying to, not all the time. Basically, sorry, I'm making a little mistake here and there. So as far as positionally, not note-wise or too much technique-wise, all right, and let's not say mistakes. I just sometimes play it a little bit different. So I'm going to try to play it the same way that I think you should play it when you get it up to tempo all the time. If I don't, you can send me a nasty email. All right, so ready? From here. 3, 4, 1. That I played it like I want you to play it, and it basically goes from 7th to 5th back to 7th, okay? Within those 3 kind of practice points there. All right, let's continue. So we have that. We got up to there. That's an A there. And again, remember the chords here. He's playing. It's a lot of D, A, D, G. He's got a B minor in there. Listen to the chords. Look at the score. Okay. E minor towards the end. I can tell you what each chord is, over the solo, but I think that's something you might want to look at yourself and listen to and learn the progression of the solo. Okay? All right, so now we're at the A. Short. Oh, he got a long value tone. It's not that busy of a solo, right? But he lets it breathe there. That's good. You're hearing all these notes, and all of a sudden he lets it breathe there. And now you're going to jump back to the C in 5th position. We're going to do probably, let's call it the second half of the solo. So you're going to take this, and And there's your vibrato. And then when you do vibrato, a little bit of shake. When I do vibrato, sometimes I keep my thumb out here. B.B. King does that a lot, okay? When you're doing vibrato, I don't grip the guitar neck very hard. You shouldn't. It's hard to say because you don't want to really grip it with your thumb. You want to grip like this with your thumb here, okay? Really grip it. You want to kind of just like lightly touch the string, okay, with your thumb. So be careful with that when you're doing vibrato. And it's in your wrist here. Don't overdo with the vibrato. You got to be able not to do it. Some people don't realize they're doing vibrato all the time. They get into the habit of doing that. But he does use that in the song, and it is very useful in a lot of things. Okay, so again, you saw this note. All right, so let's say we're going to the fourth practice point. So here, he's kind of playing some of the same thing he did before, but we're not going to fifth, right? I did that before, but I went back to fifth position, right? That's the beginning, right? But now I do it here. Why? Because my bend is here. I have to play this second string here. And we're going to play this A and bend it up to a B. So let's take a look at that. We end on this A, right? 3, 1, 2, 3. That's a good place to practice to, another practice place. Not a full phrase, but let's do it again from here. All right, now I'm going to keep going. After that bend, we're going to play it from the bend. Release the bend, play this note here. And then you go to that F sharp. So he's targeting these tones here. All right. No, this is targeting that F sharp quite a lot. If you take a look at, you say, oh, where are those long value notes? Where is he resolving? Well, he's resolving a lot to this F sharp here. That's like one big, you can say that's like one big idea. He goes to the A, but he's definitely long value tone. All right, so let's take it from that A again, where we left off on that long value tone, that big resolution point. 3, 4. There we go again. There's my F sharp. So I'm going to take it again from this A. All right, now we're getting into the solo, coming more towards the end of the solo. So we're in seventh here. We're going to start from that F sharp, where I just left off. So we're going to go all the way up to there. Watch from that F sharp again. Now I'm going back to fifth again, as you can see. Remember, I want to be here so I can do this bend. All right, let's stop there. So I'm going to take it from this A again, so you can practice along with this. Ready? 1, 3. All right. One more time again. So from here. 1, 2, 3. That's an E minor chord, right? I'm going to play, go back to fifth you start there. You play this G here on the third. I'm going to go up my F sharp. There's my F sharp again. But I'm not going to play it here. I play it here. And then he does this other 16th note part and the high part. We'll get to that in a moment. So let's take it from this E. Right when you hear that minor chord, right? Know those chord progressions. Play the chord progression for you, but you're going to learn it, listen to it, and play the whole song, play along with the rhythm guitar player. And especially just go right to the solo part. If you want, I can send you the backing track too, just of the solo, which would be great for you and for me too. All right, 3, 4. So let's do that again. So we're getting to the end of the solo. One more time. 3, 4, here. So you slide up to this F sharp. Watch. Right. Now, my 16th note triplet is on the second half of the 8th note. So we have this. One more time. Now what do? Well, you play that G, kind of on a G chord there. He jumps up to 14th position here. And you need to go 14th position on the second string here, as you can see. And you're going to do another hammer pull. That starts right out on the beat, right on the second beat. And you play the B there. See that? 1, 2, B. And that's a B there. This is a C sharp to a D, up in 14th position. Know your position. Let's just say my first finger is determining position. All right, there's a little bit better definition for that. But this is 12, right? So 13, 14. You don't want to count all the way from 1 and go 1, 2, 3, 4. You know, this is your 12th fret. Oh, that's my 12th fret. That's the octave from the open strings. So you know your open strings, that whole 12th fret of the same notes an octave up. Any note on there. That's your harmonics, okay? So go to 14th position, 2 up from 12, right? 12, 13, 14. So he does this ornamentation again. Plays this note, it bends that. That's it. That's an A again. He's going to bend that up to this B here. That's the purpose of a bend, too. Then he goes down to the chord. We'll take that in a minute. All right, so I'm going to start from this E here in 5th position, and we'll go all the way up to 14. Then down to the chords. So let's do that again. 3, 4. Alright, I'm going to back out. I'm going to play the whole solo, and I'll go to the chords. I'm going to back out just a little bit. You can see most of the fretboard, the whole fretboard. And I'll play it, I'm not going to play it here. I'll play it a little, not exactly up to tempo, and then we'll play it a few times with the, I could use a pick too. Alright, I use my fingers a lot when I teach for a lot of reasons. It's hard to play with a pick here. And I'd like some feedback on that. When I teach on Zoom or teaching live streams, people say that's good because sometimes when people are doing a video, they're playing down here, which they should be, if they're just playing, and they're playing here. And it's very tough. Even for me as a guitarist, I watch, it's very tough to see what someone's doing here and here. So if we play everything here, you can see, wow, I'm playing this note. You know, I'd be saying, well, Mike, why are you doing that? And that's why, because people can see exactly in one iframe or something, because you can't have one eye looking this way and the other one looking that way, and your head turning back. You can see that whole thing as a picture. Right? Okay, let me take it from the beginning, like I said, but this is more of a listening experience right now. And I'll back out a little more so you can see the guitar. I'm picking it. All right, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Chords at the end of, it's G. It actually does a D with an F sharp in the bass. Okay. So that would be fine there. And then to an E minor 7 chord. You could do this though. D to the E minor. Well, we've covered that in More Than a Feeling. Please go back and look at the whole More Than a Feeling, song. I did a whole tutorial over that. It was like an hour. But take the time out and look at that, because that way you'll learn all the finger picking or the arpeggio picking if you choose to use a pick, and all the chords. And we did a big long live stream on that. All right, so I'm going to play this again and listen and watch and do it slow, if you can. Play along with me, right? Before the solo, the chords are an A sus4, right? 2 bars before the solo starts. He plays like this A sus4 or 2 chord. Then he plays an A, and the solo comes right in. So that solo starts on the 2nd beat, right? Just so you know. I'll take it from the A chord. Ready? A sus. 3, 4. 2, 3, 4, 1. That's how that sounds. I could do it one more time. I could do it many more times. But for you, I'll do it one more time, and then I'll put it on the backing track, and we'll play along. All right. With that, all right, let's do it slow here again. All right, you got to be able to play it slow. Students go, oh, I can't play it slow. It is interesting, and when you teach, you got to be able to break things down. All right, let's do it again. I'm going to start right on the solo. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, and then I'm in. I'm not going to play the chords. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. To improvise over this too. So what I'm going to do is grab a drink of water. I'm allowed to do that. It's my life stream. And I'm going to play with the backing track a few times, and this way you can get a little more of a gist of how it sounds. And remember, I can send you the backing track. I made this up with my band the box. So if you need a backing track just for the solo to practice it, rather than going through a backing track of the whole tune, I will send it to you. Just send me an email. Okay. Here we go. Chords. get that down, you can always improvise a little bit over it. Let's see what I come up with. Yeah, it was okay. Okay, and there you have it. Hopefully you can see everything really good. Let me zoom out and talk to you a moment. Hope you enjoyed the live stream. And, you know, don't be afraid to email me, please. Sign up for String Sound Studios Instagram or Facebook or Twitch or whatever you're on. Okay, we're on everything. So especially that YouTube. And really check out Vimeo. Sign up on that. It's a great platform. Join me next time, and I should be doing a live stream next week. I was going to go somewhere, but I'm not now. It doesn't look like we're going, and that would be, I don't know the exact date. I think it's like the 7th or something. The first week of March, first Friday of March. And join me for that. I don't know exactly what I'm going to do yet. I have to think about that and learn something, I guess. So remember, send us feedback on everything, and please follow us. All right. Hope you enjoyed the live stream. Hope you learned. And I had a lot of fun. And I hope the audio and video sounds pretty good. And I'll keep working on it for you and for me too. I need to get this better, you know? All right. So remember to do this. And I'll see you next time. Thank you.
Play like a pro at String Sound Studio.